Welcome back to TruStudio. We are going to take a quick tour of the Portrait Assistant. Now, the Portrait Assistant is part of the program that will allow you to create a design from a photograph. So I'm just quickly selecting a photograph. And you will notice that there are 4 options available: color, sepia, monochrome, and monochrome linear. I'm going to go with color, just because the zebra is a little interesting. From here, we could rotate or crop if needed, and there is a way to override the size based on how big you want your embroidery file to be. The TruStudio option will pick the colors for you based on a default thread palette, but you can always override that thread and pick one that you want to sew with. So I'm going to go with the Robust Anton Rayon. From here, it's recommending 15 colors. If you do want to increase that, you can just by quickly clicking the up arrow, or you can grab your eyedropper and pick a specific color if that is what you desire. The program will, of course, look and figure out how much of that color is needed and recreate the stitch file from that. Once it is done picking the colors, you of course can click Continue. The embroidery will be created. You can adjust density settings if you desire, or you can click Done. The stitch file is ready to sew. However, you may want to add additional embellishments in way of super designs or frames. There are a wide variety, over 700 frames available. That includes the corners, the flourishes, side pieces. With the frames selected, I will come down here and pick one of my favorites, and I'm going to crop the image. Quick and easy, a nice frame around a photograph. But of course, you may want to add additional embellishment, and those can be done with the super designs. Now, there are 700 designs included in TruEmbroidery, and some of the super designs in upwards of 500. We are going to play with the buttonholes and add additional embellishment, but before I do that, I do want to show you that you can have multiple windows open. So if I choose one of my other windows, this is our finished design with all of the additional embellishment for a nice decorative frame. But how did we do that? Well, here you can see most of it is done, and I will show you the one last piece. So we have selected a buttonhole. We have adjusted the size because I know based on my 3 other lines how many and what I needed. And I will put it there on the screen. We will adjust that, rotate it 90 degrees, and maybe even zoom in using our gestures so that we can get up close and personal. But that design, I'm going to move off to the side so it's a little easier to see and work with. And we are going to use our Encore option. Now there are shapes, circles, lines, and hoop options. I will use the default straight line, but there are a number of different lines to choose from. And I know that I want 4 of them. So we can preview this. And yeah, that's going to work. We will move this down. And so I will apply it to finish and flip it top to bottom. We also have alignment options. So if I want this centered, of course what you can do is place it close to the bottom and select everything. Under some of our menus, we do have vertical and horizontal alignment. So we want to align this center, and we also want to align it to the bottom. And voila, we combine it, change the color, and we have our finished design. Just like this one. I hope you have enjoyed the tour of TruEmbroidery, which includes TrueStudio, TrueModify, and TrueCreate.